top of the morning, and it is a beaut.
And the hope of the Irish as the future champion of the world.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio.
Welcome to the Barry J. McDonald podcast. The place where dreams get dusted off and acted on. Because life is too short. We're living on a rock that's flying through space, and hey, what the hell else were you going to do with yourself here?
Hi, this is Barry here, and you are very, very welcome to today's podcast episode. Now, first of all, I want to give credit to today's podcast episode to the great Randy Gage, because he talked about it recently in a podcast of his own. Now, I'm sure if you do a search for Randy Gage, that's RANDYGAGE, you'll find him on iTunes and wherever you get your podcasts. But I thought it was a wonderful idea because, you know, a lot of us who are probably trying to better ourselves, maybe try to make more money online, you know, try to build business, blog, whatever. I'm sure you probably have read books or you've studied courses and, you know, all these different places say, well, you need to do this step, you'll need to do this, you need to do that. And, you know, a lot of us don't really take action on all of that material because that list just gets longer and longer. You know, when you think about all the different things you have to do and then you're saying to yourself, I need to do these things on top of that, good luck with that. So a lot of us don't take action on the books or the resources that we, you know, use, watch, listen to, because it's given us more and more and more work that we need to do. So I like the idea of Randy's, which is to do the opposite, which is to take less or take more off yourself rather than actually putting more on yourself. Now I'm going to give you a list of ideas that you could try out. I'm sure you will probably come up with your own list of not to do things. So the first thing I'd say to you is to stop giving social media your full attention. You know, you don't need to give social media your full attention today. You don't need to listen to everyone today. You don't need to find out what everyone's doing. Another thing I would say to you is to stop complaining about your results and concentrate on your actions instead. You know, we all can complain about our results, but does that ever improve our results? The only way we're going to ever improve our results is to work on our actions instead. The next thing I'd say to you is to stop putting yourself down and realise that you're doing the best that you can with what you know. You know, you might be frustrated with where you are right now. You might be angry, you might be disappointed, you may be calling yourself a loser and just beating yourself up. But really, you're doing the best that you can right now. Maybe sometimes, maybe due to the mental programming that you have, maybe through the knowledge that you have. Maybe you don't have enough knowledge yet. Maybe you have a lot of, you know, mental conditioning that is working against you. But right now, you're doing the best that you can. And you can always improve. You can always get better. I'd also say to you to stop thinking that things will never change. Things are constantly changing. Sometimes you don't even notice the change. But everything's changing around us. I would say to you also to remember that every challenge has a solution, every question has an answer, and that someone has probably been there before you and has probably left a solution somewhere. You know, it's easy for us to believe that we're the only one with this problem, that we are the only one with this question. But if you go onto Google today, if you start typing that question in or that problem, I'm sure you'll probably get a list of search results or someone who has left the solution to that. So instead of just giving up right now because you have maybe a problem or a question, head over to Google because you're bound to find somebody who's already had that problem and hopefully has, you know, come up with a good solution to it. I'd also say to you to stop thinking that the world is giving you a fraction of the attention that you think it is. You know, a lot of us believe that everyone in the world is watching what we're doing right now. You know, it's easy for me to believe that as I'm sitting here in the car, in the rain, that, you know, everybody is looking outside their windows now, paying attention to me recording this podcast. I know that isn't the case. And that held me back for the longest time. You know, I was always afraid of writing blog posts, writing books, because as soon as I thought I hit the publish button, the whole world would stop and come over and see what I was doing. But the world really doesn't care. It's just us in our head that thinks that a lot of the world is paying far more attention to us than it is. So stop doing that. I'd also say to stop wasting each brand new day by taking the same actions or inactions you did the day before. You know, if you take the same actions you took yesterday, today is probably going to end the same. Tomorrow will be the same, the next day, and even the inactions. You know, if you're not taking any action today, do you really think that tomorrow is going to be any different? Probably not. So, as I said, anyone can add more to the day, but sometimes the more and more stuff we have to put on, the more and more and more we resist doing it. We just push it away and just say to ourselves, I don't want to do all that. So maybe have a look at what you're doing right now and think to yourself, can I come up with a not to do list? What are things that I can leave out? And I'm sure you'll find that you'll probably take a lot more action on that list than you will on your to-do list. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Before you go, Barry would like to give you a free copy of Words to Wealth. In it, he's going to show you 10 ways to make money from writing. Head on over to writecome.com now for your copy. Have a great day and come back soon.